Yeah, hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. Next week is the midterm exam on Thursday, which is why I wanted to say a few words about that. So in the next couple of videos, I'm going to wrap up the decision tree lectures. That includes video 5, 6, and 7. However, everything starting from now will not be included in the midterm exam, so I won't ask any questions about any material starting from now on. So the midterm will only cover material up to today, basically, not including today. So today, technically, you don't have to watch this video, you don't have to study this for the first midterm. For the final exam, you need to study, of course. You have to study everything. So a few words about how we do the midterm. So I know a lot of you are in different time zones, so I will make the exam available on Canvas for 24 hours, so for the whole Thursday. However, once you start taking the exam, you only have 2 hours to complete it. So I should say this exam I expect it to be easier than in previous years because I will not make more questions than I would usually make. However, in previous years, the exam was conducted in the 75-minute time period during the class. However, this time I will say you have 2 hours, which is 45 minutes more than usual. So in that way, I hope that is the first thing that makes it easier. And the second thing that hopefully makes it easier is that it's open book. Usually I would not have open book exams. So in that way, I hope also the open book format will make it easier for you. However, it still means that you have to study because I just had a midterm exam in my other class that I'm teaching this semester. It's 571, Statistics 571. And in this class, it was a similar format. So the students had open book exam available for 24 hours and they had 100 minutes to take it. And the intent was basically that the students take the exam. So the regular exam time 75 minutes, and then the last 25 minutes is for file uploads, like for typing in the answers. In this class, they had to, some students wanted to upload handwritten notes because there was a lot of equations involved. So it can take some time to take a picture of your paper and then upload it. So the last 25 minutes was just for uploading. So students were supposed to stop after 75 minutes and then take the last 25 minutes for uploading. However, a lot of students struggled with that, and we had also some students who submitted late. And the issue was basically that everyone was running out of time. And the problem was, first of all, the students relied too much on their notes. So during the exam, a lot of students started looking up things from the notes, and that takes a lot of time. So it's still, what I want to emphasize, it's still important to study. So even though it's open book, doesn't mean you don't have to study. It's still very, very important that you study. And the other problem was basically that students worked too long on the exam. So instead of working on it for 75 minutes, the students worked on it for 95 minutes and then tried to upload everything in the last 5 minutes or so. And then the problem with that was some people couldn't upload in that short time period and then couldn't submit the exam, which is an issue. So we won't be accepting late exams because also, like in the other class, there were students who tried to submit everything on time, so they submitted even 5 or 10 minutes earlier just to make sure it's submitted early. And for this class, I also expect that you submit the exam on time. On Canvas, it's not possible to submit an exam late. So in that time, in the 120 minutes, it has to be submitted. If it's submitted late, it won't count. So please make sure you enter the answers as you go, not like last minute. So the way I will set up the exam is that that some questions will be multiple choice and some questions will require you to type an answer. There may be 1 or 2 questions where you can upload an answer, but I don't know yet. But once you're finished with the question, upload it so that in the end you won't run into issues where you have missing questions or where you didn't have time to upload. And also, ideally, I recommend stopping earlier. So you have 120 minutes, but I would say submit everything by minute 100, and then you can work on it a little bit more. So remember, previously, students in previous years only had 75 minutes, so it's kind of a luxury that you have so much time. And yeah, there won't be late submissions. What you can do is, if there is some really big issue on Canvas, you can send me an email, but it has to be sent within the time you started taking the exam. So I can see the timestamp when you started the exam, and only answers that are sent within that time frame can be accepted. But you should actually submit everything on Canvas. Late submissions won't count, so that's what I wanted to emphasize. So just make sure you manage the time well. And so now, after talking about the exam, a few more words about the class project, which I think is the most exciting part about this course. It's kind of getting a little bit late in the semester. I hope you had a time to meet with your colleagues and with your students or the other students to come up with a project that you want to work on. And so the next task will be writing the 2-page project proposal, and I will set up a Canvas page on that for that. So note, for that Canvas page, you don't have to, so not everyone in the group has to submit it, only one group member has to submit it. I will set it up on Canvas such that only one group member has to submit the 2-page PDF report. And I will make that due on October 20th. So because it will take me a lot of time also to read the reports or the proposals, because we have about 70 students, so there will be 70 divided by 3, about 23 groups that I have to read the proposal and then also provide some feedback. So in order to do that, it takes me easily like at least a week, because I also teach the other class and have to make material for this class. So I can't put the deadline farther behind, because then it's already November and you need also some time to work on your project, right? However, you can submit a proposal, but I already encourage you to start working on the project. There's no reason to wait for the proposal. I will give you feedback. In the worst case, I will make suggestions. Okay, this is maybe not an ideal project, change something about it, and then I will tell you some tips that you may want to change about the project. But I would recommend, if you have time, already start working on the project, because we will have the project presentations and the final report due mid-December, and it can take a lot of time to work on a computational project. So in that way, make sure you start working on it early. Also, I shared example proposal and example report with you, and you also have a link to videos that other students in the previous classes agreed to share it publicly. So for this class, if you don't want it, nothing gets shared on the internet or YouTube, so don't worry about it. Only students who like to have content shared, I will share, let's say, via YouTube. But don't worry about like privacy. Everything is private unless some students want to share their stuff. But these students from the previous semesters, they agreed to share their materials, so you can take a look at that. I provided the links. And with that, I don't want to take much more more time here, because we have lecture content to get to. So I hope that information was useful about the exam and about the project. So don't forget, study for the exam. It will still be a challenging exam, even though it's open book. And also make sure you have a good time management. All right, then with that, good luck on Thursday.